Westeros!
And welcome to our Morning Throners podcast.
I'm Nelson.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Kyle.
And we are your Morning Throners. And welcome back to another episode of your favorite Song of Ice and Fire podcast. We are your Morning Throners, and we got Tyrion 1 of A Dance with Dragons. Officially chapter 1, probably chapter 2 in my book, but gentlemen, how you guys doing?
We counting the prologue?
All right, we can't do this for another book.
I'll do it for like two more chapters.
All right. I mean, I am going to complain kind of like the other books, so I guess it's a good segue into this part. But
Yeah, what'd you think?
yeah, I mean, it was a good chapter. It's fun to hear where Tyrion is, right? But at the same time, it's a lot of like, it feels like some
Stuff we knew.
rehashing, right? Like
Yeah.
we get like Tyrion's perspective a lot. I mean, and of course it's on his mind, right? Like what he just did has to be. That's dude's fleeing for his life because of what he just did. So it makes sense, but he goes through the whole Tywin stuff over and over and over again. And I mean, that's really the synopsis of the chapter is Tyrion's drunk.
Yeah.
And then he talks to Illyrio.
Yep.
Yeah, I think there's one other big thing on his mind besides him killing Tywin.
It's Taisha.
It's related.
He thinks
Taisha,
about he thinks about the girl all the time. And he does your favorite literary device now where he just keeps saying the same thing
Yeah.
over and over and over.
Where did the horse go?
Yeah, so I didn't want to tell you guys anything about my thoughts on this one before we go in. I don't like this chapter. So boring.
Wow.
So boring.
Oh, he agrees with us.
Surprise.
I feel like as a re-entry into Tyrion, like he's going through it, but I don't know, like I'll give one example kind of towards the end. The whole mushroom conversation, I really like that. And like I kind of like how Tyrion has like half a thought that, you know what, fuck it. Like I do hate my life right now. I kind of want to die. I don't know. I just wish like he spent like another paragraph or two like with Tyrion like seriously considering, like, again, not that I want Tyrion to kill himself, but like I don't know. I feel like he had like any of the things that he could have gone deep on. Taisha, he just thought like, oh, that really sucked, and then moved on. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you're just very surface level recapping all this stuff. Like, think about it a little bit harder one time. Yeah. So I don't know. I thought it was. I agree with you. I guess it was a recap, and I don't think we learned anything new. Like we knew he didn't like any of this stuff. I guess.
We got a little. Go ahead, Jeff.
The end maybe gave us something a little bit new for at least Tyrion's direction.
Like Tyrion learned new stuff, but we didn't.
Well, sure, but I think part of it is the character learning and now our response to what that character will do with new information.
I agree normally, but in this one, it's like, oh, Stannis is at the wall. Okay, moving on.
Well, sure.
Like he doesn't think twice about any of it.
Can I disagree a little bit about the new stuff? And this maybe is helpful for me to be the one that says it, but
sure.
Like I don't know that we knew for sure kind of his escape, right, with Varys and all that stuff.
That's fair.
Yeah.
We didn't know where Tyrion was.
Get dunked on, Nelson.
the whole Tywin
Give him another one. Give him another one.
The Tywin knew it was him, and like they had a brief conversation before he shot him. I don't know that we knew that for sure.
What do you mean? What was that part?
Yeah, I don't know what you were saying there.
He had Tywin stood up. He was didn't believe that he was about to shoot him and stuff. Did we know that?
I think we did. We were present for the shooting.
I thought he opened up the toilet.
No, they had a conversation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I forgot that part then. Okay. Well, then that was helpful.
So that actually, before we get into it, I just pulled it up because I thought it was interesting trivia question.
I know it.
Last Tyrion chapter we had was Tyrion 11, Storm of Swords. When did we publish that? I don't know when we recorded it.
No, that's stupid. Timelines don't matter.
Yeah.
Don't give me a timeline question.
That's a real life timeline. This is a question. How long since we've read a Tyrion chapter? Is basically the question.
Was it in the last book?
Mm-mm.
No.
He wasn't in the last book.
End of Storm of Swords.
October 12th, 2024.
Okay. Kyle?
I was gonna say a year and a half. I don't know what that is from here.
2024?
June, July 24.
July 23rd, 2024. So,
There you
it's
go.
been a while. So, everyone can forgive Kyle. All the fans can forgive Kyle for forgetting the specifics.
That's wild. That's actually crazy when you think about
I know.
our lives.
Don't think about it for too long.
Our lives,
Is that too meta to think about our lives?
in terms of Game of Thrones podcast.
You had a kid at that time.
Yeah,
Barely.
like a 6 month old, 7 month old. It's crazy.
You got two little ones on your hand. All right. So yeah, long one. We can forgive Kyle. I think sometimes I did grab a quote or two from the old ones if there was something we needed to remember. I probably should have grabbed that one because I went back to look at it. So I probably should have thought that maybe we'd all want to see it. But yeah, Tywin does stand up a little bit towards the end of the conversation.
Yeah, I don't remember the specifics of that, but
that was what I went to look at. But.
Yeah, that was new.
What else can we dunk on Nelson with?
Like you said, where he's headed for sure. I don't know. I think that was probably about it.
So what was Kyle's prediction on where he was headed?
I said Castle Rock. I thought that would be fun.
I think you said.
I guess I should have figured it out. That
Wait,
he
hold
was
on, Jeff.
going.
What were you gonna say?
I thought he might have said Dorne.
Oh no, I think Kyle said Castle Rock. What I was gonna say was
okay.
at the end of the chapter, they're basically like, "What's the path to Castle Rock?" So like, yeah, he's not going to Castle Rock, but like, it seems like he's about to go on a journey to hopefully end goal Castle Rock. So
You're saying in this current chapter,
at the very end of this one, we'll get to it. Yeah, but I think so. Kyle, half a point. And again, we could get to
Well,
that.
what I was going to say then is that I should have realized that previous king, whatever, people in Sour Grace of the King have been exiled, and this is where they went. So when I saw Illyria show up, I'm like, oh, of course, like this happened before with Dany and
Targaryens.
Viserys.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll give my opinion real quick. I thought it was a decent chapter. I don't love when they just repeat themselves over and over again. Like, that theme gets boring to me, especially because the chapters aren't short. It's not like these aren't Game of Thrones chapters now. It's like where it was a quick 10-pager. Like, these are still...
Yeah, but they're not Feast of Crows. This one was long.
They're
that's
still
why.
like 18 and small font, which, whatever. But I enjoyed Tyrion. So Tyrion gets a pass because he's entertaining. So, all right, let's jump in. Tyrion's find out he's riding on a ship. Where to? We don't know quite yet, but...
the Narrow Sea. You're right.
Yeah, but
exactly
he could be going north, south.
Yep.
At one point, he thinks Jaime mentioned the free cities, but he's not sure. He thinks like Bravos, Tyrosh, Mir. He thinks about a few, but yeah.
No, Jeff's right though. He's no pure destination here.
He's not eating, just getting drunk the whole time. Wine.
Liquid diet.
Which is impossible. You can't do that.
Yeah. And this poor cabin boy.
Yeah, dude, that's an awful job.
Poor cabin boy has to come in and bring him food that he doesn't eat and then clean up his puke and just listen to him blabber.
Not a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did they get paid enough for this? Like, I feel like I guess Jaime might have, but
who?
That
what do you
seems
mean?
like something like you'd throw him overboard.
The cabin people, you're saying,
right?
Kyle?
Like, you just be like, fuck this guy at this point, right? Like, we got our money, throw him overboard.
Oh, the ship people.
Or just like let him lay in his own puke.
Yeah.
Maybe
let him
just
die.
like
Yeah,
not even like clean him up.
How are they not tired of this?
No, there's
shit?
got to be some payment on delivery. Illyria's got to be paying these guys on delivery. You're not. You're getting 10% on departure, 90% on delivery.
Yeah. Well, he's stuck underneath the ship in the brig, but not a brig, probably a cabin. Right? Got a decent spot. No idea. No windows. No clue. Day or night.
Yeah. He said small ship, small cabin. Wasn't allowed to go anywhere. So yeah, locked up.
I was just trying to think of a ship name.
Oh yeah, I was looking for it. I didn't see a ship name. The thing is, it's a narrow sea.
I meant like the part of the ship that he was in. He's not in the brig, but
he says that he's
lower
in a small cabin. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know what the ship term was for it.
Yep. It's a narrow sea though. Like, how long's the ride? A week?
Can't be that far.
2 weeks?
Get it,
Exactly.
Right? Day? 2? They had a good wind. That's definitely a 2-day ride.
Yeah, and Pentos and King's Landing are like dead even. It's like a straight shot across. You don't have to go any north or south.
So he's just being dramatic. He's not even been drinking that long. We've drank longer than this in a long weekend.
We've probably had podcasts longer than his ship ride. I've been drinking for the whole thing.
What coward, this guy. Yeah, I mean, he says it himself later, I think. Right?
Yeah. So he is asking the serving boy where they're headed, and he's not budging at all. No comments at all. He might as well be riding on Euron's ship, right?
Yep. He would ask
And
the boy. The thing, Jaime telling everything on his heart to Ilan Payne because the guy doesn't have a tongue. Tyrion talking to all these guys. He doesn't think the cabin boy can understand because of a different language. That turns out to not be the complete truth later, right? With at least one of the people in Illyrio's manse. So here he's like actually saying this shit out loud to just some random cabin boy. Like, I don't know. Just feels like a dumb idea to me. But he's fucked up, so he probably doesn't really give a fuck.
I mean, he has to monologue somehow for us, right? But
well, you
at
can
the
just
same
think
time,
it.
Yeah, it's dumb. Yeah.
That is the one thing you could do when it's a book. You can just think it.
Yeah.
Right, Nels? Not a show.
Yeah, I know, but you don't want to read.
That's just a big
after
problem
page
I had
just
recently.
Thinking to himself.
Yeah. So he's drinking some Dornish wine, and he thinks it reminds him of a snake he knew until a mountain fell on him. Right. This is Oberyn and Gregor.
In his trial by 7.
Yeah. And then he's like asking him, did some dwarf diddle your mother? Why don't you like me? Why won't you talk to me? Where are we going? All to the boy. This is all the stuff he says to the boy. And then I think because of Oberyn, he starts thinking of his options. He thinks option 1 is we could do what Oberyn wanted to do, which is kind of what Arianne had the same plan. And timeline wise,
I did have to keep reminding myself that I know I read the chapter at the beginning of the foreword by George where it was like this happened during, but it's like I had to keep going. Oh yeah, that's right. This is during.
Yeah.
So anyway,
yeah. Let me see if I can find. But this actually, the timeline we're following actually has Arianne getting together with everybody and like trying to crown Marcella only happening like 4 days after this. So.
And yet we read this a year and a half ago.
Yeah. Well, What we read Tyrion stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the Jamie stuff could have been tighter timeline.
Yeah. So
He was in the last one.
So for the Marcella stuff, his thought is basically, Oberyn wanted to do that. He doesn't know if Doran would actually still support it, though, now that Oberyn's dead.
Now that Oberyn. What? Is it Dorn supporting it or Doran? Are you saying the name?
Doran
The
Martell.
person?
Yeah, the
Doran,
Lord.
the person,
Yeah.
not the country.
Yeah, sorry. Doran Martell.
Especially because everybody else's view on Doran is that he just sits around.
Does nothing.
But we know.
We don't know
He's a
everything, but we
schemer.
know he says he has
He's
plans.
a schemer.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
a schemer.
One, it's like
you
is he gonna
had
give it back to my-
schemes.
give it
had
back to my
schemes.
sister and stuff like he still thinks
had
everybody
plans.
loves her, like, and that's when
Look
I
what
really
I-
had to like hammer it home, like, no, she's not locked
Took
up
your
in
little
the-
plan. Turn it on.
Sorry, God. Jeff is doing a Joker quote. I got
I
lost.
know, yeah, I knew it, that nothing has changed.
It's just in the
since
background.
episode 1.
It's
I
just
don't
in the
think
background.
the pod.
We've evolved over time. It used to be way more office.
Don't talk like one of them. You're not.
It used to be way more office quotes. Now we went on Batman recently.
It was a lot of Batman clothes too. They've been around since the start. Let's be real.
It's probably my favorite movie. Top.
I
3
understand.
For sure.
All the time they come out, pop out of nowhere sometimes.
Yeah, but his other option instead of Dorn would be let's maybe think about going to the Wall. You know, Mormont always said they need guys like me on the Wall. The only problem is he could be dead, and I sent Janos Slint there, which would not be good for me.
Yeah,
Then I'd be dead.
So Tyrion got the news. He was there when they got the news that Gior was dead. I guess he just potentially thinks it's not true. He was there when Tywin sent the letter basically saying like, hey, the crown heavily recommends Janos Slint for the new Lord Commander. So that's why Tyrion's thinking this. It's not just that like he thinks Janos would have done it naturally. He kind of was there when Tywin was suggesting it. But I think this is kind of just crazy in general. Tyrion wants to go to the Wall. Like, what? And Lily just take the Black? That
Nah, well, you might as well go somewhere.
the whores would go begging from King's Landing to Dorne. Isn't that what he says when? And I don't know if it's in the books. In the show, at least,
I think that
when he tells
show
Cersei
only.
he's going to the Wall, Cersei's like, "What? You're going to take the Black?" And he's like, "No, I'm just going to visit. If I took the Black, the whores would go begging from." King's
Sounds like
Landing."
a show quote.
Yeah, I might be in the book
funny.
too, but yeah,
I don't remember that, but it might be. Yeah. At the same time, though, Nelson, like, isn't it like the way to kind of absolve your past?
Yeah, for
And
sure.
That's like
Just-
kind of the only way he can live a normal life in Westeros at this point.
yeah.
So he thinks.
I agree. Again, I just wish like he thinks about going to the Wall, but he doesn't think like I have nothing. Like he doesn't. Again, we kind of get a line later that does hit hard, but it's only one line where he's like, basically, he has nothing to live for, is what he's saying, right?
Yeah.
Without saying it,
I mean, he's been drinking the entire episode or chapter
he's
here.
hammered.
Like,
Yeah,
I think it's pretty evident that he feels that way about himself, right?
yeah.
It's like generally when you fall into this multi-week drinking binge, you wake up places and you don't know how you got there. Like, I think that's generally a sign of depression of some sort.
Yeah, and I think it's Tysha more than it is Tywin. So I think we can get into it when we start talking about her. But
It's just a little bit weird. I guess it's the new. If it is just Tysha, it's because Jamie dropped the bomb.
yeah,
Right.
Jamie dropped the bomb, and now he's been able to think about like what not only like
How that changed his life.
what his life could have been, how that changed his life, but also like what he did to her.
What was the bomb?
She wasn't a whore. She actually loved him, and Tywin basically made Jamie lie that she was a whore the whole time, and then had everyone basically rape her, and to prove the point. And Tyrion went last, right? So now he's thinking like again, he doesn't think
Yeah.
about this at this part of the chapter at all. I think it's a big point of like why he's in such a dark place.
For
So
sure.
it's worth talking about. Right?
Let me just propose one thing. Would she have taken the money though?
What do you mean?
After, if she was.
What do you mean? I think that it was like, hey, I'm Tywin. I'm going to kill your family if you don't do this thing.
Yeah.
I think it's like it's a
You better lay down and take this silver.
I mean, after all that shit, you're doing whatever the fuck Tywin says, right? You just let it be over. And if the answer is you have to take this gold with you, or silver and 1 gold with you, then yeah, you're doing it.
What if he just said like, "Hey, divorce me, divorce my son," and she'd be like, "Okay."
Yeah, but that's not Tywin. I think yes, that
Yeah.
would have worked.
He
I
had to
think,
make a
but that
point.
was not how he wanted to do it, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
And there's a line later, I think, that kind of alludes to that too. And I think that again, what hurts Tyrion too is he's like that's what the conversation with Tywin was about. That you're basically missing is because Jamie had just confessed that to him. That's part of why he's like, I'm gonna go fucking kill Tywin now, because Tywin did this to a woman who actually no one in this world loves me. This woman actually loved me, Tywin did that to her and then lied about it forever, basically telling me no one ever loved you.
Changed the entire course of his life.
That's why Tyrion goes to do that. And guess what? On the way, the other woman he thought maybe loved him is in bed with Tywin. Right? So it's just like, this is what Tyrion has just gone through. This is when he killed his dad, he's like, where, just tell me where you sent Tysha. And he's like, where'd she go? And he's like, I don't know. Like, why would I remember where she went? Wherever whores go. And that's why, again, he repeats it a lot, but that's fucking locked in his mind because he's trying to be like, just tell me where the fuck you sent her. And he's like, wherever whores go. He's like, game over. And he had warned him, if you say whore again, if you use that word again, I'm going to shoot you.
Thump.
So, yeah.
He got shot. All right. So one thing he thinks about is that like he did learn a little bit of High Valyrian back in the day, but every town seems to have their own dialect, which is basically a different language, and he's struggling to pick up anything of what's being said around him.
Yep. So he knows a little bit of the language, but the thing is he doesn't know the word whore. So the last question he asked the boys, he's like, have you ever been to the pleasure houses of Lys? Is that where whores go? Right? I think that's one of the funny things. He's just asking everybody in this chapter. And I think that's because he's hammered, but like, it's just like, that's the only thing he's thinking about. I think it's the main point here is like that conversation, Tysha, it's all is on his mind. That's why he's not really thinking about like what his next move is. He's more...
Well, that's the move. Go find Tysha, don't you think?
Yeah, but how do you do that? Just ask every single person.
Just go to every
just get hammered. Ask every person you see where whores go. Like
go to every whorehouse from Castle Rock to Ashai. You'll find her.
She was not a. First off, she's not a whore, that's what Tyrion learned, right? So why is he actually looking for where whores go? That's not where Tysha would. She probably just went back home.
That's what Tyrion. Right? That's what Tywin last said. So
yeah, but okay.
Maybe she took up the profession on. All right, so he doesn't dream anymore because of how drunk he is, or he just doesn't want to recall his dreams. But this is where we got our first thought of the words, where do whores go?
Yep.
And he recalls killing his dad, and he says he only remembers the sound of the crossbow, but then he relives it pretty vividly, exactly what he did, where the thing was shot. He went and saw Shay. He went down. He saw Varys, right? So like he knew. I don't know what he was saying when he only remembered the sound because he remembered it all.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
That's neither here nor there. Yep. So he told Varys he killed his dad and Shay, and
I killed my father. The same tone you use to tell somebody like you stubbed your toe. Like
it
was nothing.
Spat it out.
I think that happens actually in real life too.
I killed him.
These people that like
kill people or just like
fuck up and then
don't care about it. Yeah,
just kind of puts you in shock as well.
Sensory overload.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then to what Jeff said, he also says I killed Shay, and Varys says you knew what she was, and Tyrion says, but I didn't know what he was. Again, I don't think this
now
is.
You do.
I don't think this is in reference to Shay, and this is in reference to what he did to Tysha again, because he always knew that he did this to Tysha, but he always thought that basically he treated this whore like a whore. This was not that anybody would want to go through what Tysha went through, even a whore, but. You know what I mean? It's different if that was her profession, right? Yeah. Whether this is just this farmer's daughter crofter's daughter that actually loved Tyrion, right?
I think it's also
did that to Tysha and to Tyrion, because he made Tyrion partake.
Yeah,
right.
I think it's also like just a character shock to Tywin too. Like my whole life, you've told me I can't do what I've been doing with whores, and here you are with not only a whore but with my whore.
Yes, and that's a huge point too.
I think that's the answer. I didn't get Nelson's point of Tysha being there.
Yeah, he doesn't think about me at all. But to me, that I think that's the biggest revelation about, because that's what he's asking Tywin about the whole time before he kills him. He is. I think there are a few questions about Shay at the beginning. I think he says like I killed her, and he's like, who cares? She was a whore, and he's like, don't say that again. And then they start talking about Tysha, and then that's when
the two loves of his life.
Yeah.
Okay.
So. All right. And he does think to himself during this is like, I probably should have killed Varys too.
Yeah, I think Varys is interesting here. So Varys didn't plan this, right? Tyrion says, and we saw Jaime, I think we saw from the Jaime chapter, Jaime said he had to like barge in and put a sword to Varys' neck to convince him to free Tyrion, right? So what is it's a life, one life gives you lemons situation? Like, why is Tyrion with Illyrio, I guess? You know what I mean? Like, how does Varys? Sure, but why?
Well, they were pals from the old Essos days, right?
Sure, but why not? Varys always does a thing where he's just trying to stay on the good side of whoever, right? Like He could just
Whoever
give
has the
Tyrion
power.
to Cersei. Like, he could just wait a week and give him to Cersei. I guess, I don't know, maybe Jaime would kill him.
Well-
So maybe he can't do that.
I think it's the Jaime
Yeah,
thing.
Jaime's still around.
The fear of Jaime.
Jaime having a sword to your throat changes it a bit.
Yeah. I
You
guess.
you can't hold your cards if the dealer's making you play.
It's literally just like a dump him off deal and we'll figure something out later.
Maybe I dump him off, but dump him off to another guy that can hold him for a week or so till you're ready to play your cards.
That's a good point.
And
Joe.
the other thing is, Varys let Tyrion go up the ladder.
Yeah, because he knew. Whatever.
Yeah.
He had to know Tyrion was going to kill Tywin, right?
So,
Like, why let him do that?
Let's just play it out. He goes up there, kills Tywin, comes back down, and gets away. Okay, fine. You keep going with Plan A. Jaime, I tried. Or Jaime, we got it done. Plan B, he goes up, kills his dad, gets caught, and then Varys. Nothing happens to
Disappears.
Varys, right? It's
Yeah.
just Tywin. More chaos, and Tywin's dead, and it's a win-win for Varys. Varys doesn't give a shit, right? He just
The other thing is the whole exit that Tyrion goes on is dark the whole way, except for this one chamber where there's a bunch of rooms and there's a brazier lit with a dragon mural on the floor and a ladder going up. It's the only reason Tyrion knows where this is because Shay told Tyrion about this right after Varys had snuck Shay into the Tower of the Hand this way. I don't know. I'll say there are fans that think Varys lit that brazier because he knew Tyrion would see the mural because he was listening when him and Shay were talking and wanted him to go up the ladder. And I don't think that's very far-fetched. He had just brought Shay into that room through the secret chamber. I think it's not too crazy.
Maybe
to think
that's
he's
why it
right
was lit.
outside. Varys lit it on purpose. So did
Maybe because he was getting Shay in there and he wanted it lit for himself.
today.
It was just he turned on the light. Yeah, he said he brought Shay into the room.
He brought Shay into the room with Tyrion when Tyrion was in the hand. And Tyrion's like, how'd you
Oh.
get here? And Shay's like, I don't know. I was blindfolded, but I saw the dragon mural on the floor. Was the only thing I saw right before the ladder. And my point is, Varys back then, that was like a year ago, had just snuck Shay into the same room that Tyrion now sneaks into. And Tyrion's asking, how'd you get in here? And she's like, I don't know. I was blindfolded for most of it. All I saw was the thing.
Let me say,
The
this
mural.
doesn't say anything about a mural. This says where orange embers glowed in the mouth of an iron dragon.
Yeah. And there's a mural on it doesn't mention it here, but there's a mural on the floor in the
it's
other
like
Tyrion
a
chapter
mosaic.
of a
deal.
Targaryen dragon. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Varys seems more like a Littlefinger than just like a rule follower. Maybe
Yeah.
not as much as Littlefinger, who we find out is basically pulling so many strings, right? But I don't know. I don't think he's just like along for the ride.
That's fair. And that was what I was going to kind of say as to why you were asking why he would keep Tyrion over here or whatever. Now he owns Jaime, kind of. Varys owns Jaime.
Well, Varys hasn't showed his face. Varys isn't in Feast of Crows at all. Cersei's been around and Varys is just not.
I understand, but he owns Jaime at this point.
In what
Kind
way?
of.
If he showed up in
'Cause
Jaime's
he
room
can
and
say-
said,
You can say that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I am the one that knows everything that happened.
You wanted to set Tyrion free, or
no one cares about that except Cersei. I don't think literally anybody in the world would care about that except Cersei.
Who killed Tywin
I think they know who killed Tywin because
and where he is and how he got there. And
how he escaped is probably the biggest piece. But
you don't think that's important information? He's like the
you're right.
biggest criminal.
You're right. That's a good point. Him killing Tywin probably does put a target on his head.
Literally, if you bring him back alive, you become a fucking landed lord or whatever, right?
Yeah, but that's just because of Cersei. That's my point.
I understand,
Cersei's-
but that is a very valuable thing to everybody else in the fucking kingdom.
Yeah, but Cersei's locked up right now, so like, is that
Well,
valid?
but not yet.
Well, yeah,
Not
not
in
at this
this-
point.
not in
at
this
point.
timeline.
Not at this point. Not at this point.
that's why timeline doesn't matter.
All right.
All right, back on track. So he started thinking about Jaime, just how much he kind of cared for him, and then it was like, better not do that. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's coming in a future chapter, so I say we just wait for that. Like, there's no way he doesn't think about Jaime in this book, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember, but I'm guessing.
So next is he's thrown in a wine cask, picked up, carried, rolled, dropped, rolled again, picked up, dropped, and then opened up to a fat man speaking a language he had no idea what it was.
Yep. I don't know, the barrel thing. I like it. It gives me Hobbit vibes. I don't know if this was a little Hobbit homage, but I know Jeff doesn't know what that is. But I know George loves Lord of the Rings, so maybe. Yeah. So Illyrio's there, big fat guy. I don't know if we learn it's Illyrio right away, but pretty
doesn't
soon.
take
We
long.
don't learn right away. I think we probably could have Kyle probably had a guess. I would.
So it's a fat man look down, a drunken dwarf, and then like 3 paragraphs later is like, my house, yours, any friend of my friend across the water is a friend of Illyrio Mopatis.
Yep. So he gets a hot bath and ends up falling asleep. He wakes up, takes a look at where he's at out the window, and he spots like the bay, right? So he sees some ships, thinks to himself, can I find a ship to Dorne? Or maybe even one that's going to Eastwatch. One of them has to be going to Dorne or Eastwatch.
Yeah. But he has no money to pay, no way to pay for it either.
Yeah, you scrub the deck. Illyrio walks in, and because of context clues, I guess Tyrion thought to himself, "Hey, we're in Pentos, right?"
Yeah,
and Illyrio confirmed that.
How does he come to that conclusion, though?
I would say the roofs and shit.
It's like the temperature and stuff.
Yeah,
so
he knows the languages in Braavosi or Tyros because he heard some people speaking.
Yeah. Bare branches and chill in the air argued against Lys and Mir and Volantis as well, and that's when he kind of is like, it has to be Pentos.
I think you're right. Climate-wise, it kind of rules out the southerner ones.
I'm not right. Tyrion's right.
Yep. See, that's the reason. Yeah.
I'm right.
I know.
Jeff's right.
So he's like, hey, I think he might have asked Illyrio. I think I stopped writing where horse go. And he basically look,
immediately.
You can have any of my servant women. Like, no one's going to turn you down here. Like, have at it.
Slaves?
And,
we're in the free cities. How do you have slaves here? Tyrion asks. And Illyrio's like, oh, they're not slaves. Slavery's forbidden in Pentos. But still, they're
under contract. Part of the job. You get paid.
We got this vibe from Illyrio last time.
What's up? That he kind of had slaves?
Varys were here. Yeah, like the servants were.
Yeah.
Servants, hardcore. So this is interesting. He says that slavery is forbidden in Pentos because of a treaty imposed on them by Braavos 100 years ago. But still, they won't refuse. So just, I don't know, interesting that Pentos and Braavos, that's 100 years ago. I looked it up. It's actually
I mean, what do you think? Do you think Illyrio is capturing these people, or he's like, hey, I'll pay you, but if you want to get paid, you have to do literally anything I say?
I think they're just slaves, straight up.
And he's just hiding them.
When you're rich, who's going to stop you?
I don't think they're regular. I don't think they're regular inspections. Pentos was
Braavos isn't coming down to Big Brother Pentos.
Exactly. What I looked up was like, this is like a kind of like a reoccurring thing where Braavos and Pentos have been arguing about this for a while, and they signed the treaty in 2009 was when it was, which is actually the same year as the Hedge Knight. So
yeah, he's got enough money that he's above the law, Jeff. He even says later, he's like, I could live for years off of his fingers alone. His rings.
Yeah. All right. So he thinks like, I don't want to stay here. You could walk all the grounds, Tyrion. Like, have at it. Like, just don't leave. I don't want anyone to see you. Yeah. And he's like, all right. Well, I don't want to stay here too long either because Cersei or Jaime are gonna pay mighty fine money for me once they find out I killed Daddy.
Well, Andy's worried that Illyrio is gonna
trade him in.
You find a better, more he's like Tywin always said that the merchants of the free cities were all about profit. That's all they cared about. They'd sell their mom for a quarter type thing. So I was like, as soon as Illyrio finds a better use for me, game over. So I can't be around here long, basically.
Yeah. So he goes down by the pool.
Tries to.
Starts thinking about Tysha.
Yeah.
And then he starts exploring the mansion. The first spot he goes to is the kitchen.
Well, and Illyrio goes where?
To the Prince of Pentos.
Yes. There's he's on the council, I guess. He's a magister, which I guess means you're in the Senate or something, I guess. Yeah, kind of. So he goes to the Prince's Council. Yep.
So he starts in the kitchen. There's 2 kitchen women down there. Thinks about taking them. Also asks them, where do whores go?
Yep.
Nobody's answering him. And he keeps searching and finds the cellar where he was dumped out of the wine cask where all of the wine was kept.
Yeah, at one point he does get dressed in boys' clothes, right? That's what he's wearing, little boys' clothes.
Is this Viserys' clothes, do you think?
Maybe.
I don't know if he was
young. Viserys probably was 16. I would think they'd probably fit him.
Okay.
They'd probably just be baggy on him at that point.
Well, what boy do you think this belonged to?
I don't know. They're musty, so. Illyrio bought the chest for decoration and forgot. Didn't even ever open them.
Could be one of his slave boys or something even. Yeah. But they seem nice clothes. I don't know. It's weird.
All right, so he gets, he chooses. He has a nice selection of wine there. Chooses a good one. Pours a cup and also a flagon. Takes it with him. Wanders out to a garden. He sees the wall. Spikes are on the wall. He pictures his brother and sister's head on that wall. And then he thinks about, I think I could scale that wall. Just need to find a nice piece of rope.
Yep. One thing that that we said that I did want to mention is when he gets the wine, he ends up picking a strong cask that was marked as a private stock from Lord Runesford Red Wine, the grandfather of the current Lord, which is who's the current Lord Red Wine? Trivia, Jeff. I know you love your trivia. You're always right.
With an X? Is there an X in it?
Yes.
No.
There's an X in it.
Paxton
yes. Wow, Kyle. Good job. Jeff sucks. Moving on.
I didn't want to be.
You guys talked about that before I got on.
No, we didn't.
That's not true.
All right. So he sees 3 gates. One of them is chained up. 2 of them are guarded by people in hats.
Plump people in
Unsullied.
hats.
Yeah.
Unsullied. Yeah, wow.
He can spot a eunuch anywhere.
Yep. He actually doesn't say that. He said they're just known for being fearless. And these ones are plump. We've actually heard why they become plump.
I thought he did say he could spot a eunuch anywhere.
Oh, did he say that?
He said something about it being them being eunuchs.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Tyrion
Kyle?
knew eunuchs when he saw them.
Okay. Dang.
He knew their sort
Get
by
dunked on,
reputation.
Nelson.
They feared nothing and felt no pain.
Just better notes. I'm just a better note taker than you. That's what it comes down to. So he ends up sitting by a washerwoman. She's doing, I would assume, some laundry, right? And just starts asking her questions. Just letting him rip.
Yep.
The big ones I wrote were where he should go. Should I head the door in first or should I go to the wall? Obviously, she's not answering.
Yeah, there's this whole like it doesn't really matter, but he has this whole like setting of like, oh, let's escape together. Where shall we go? We can get married. If you hide me under your skirts, I'll be so grateful. I'll marry you, right? Because then he says, I've had 2 wives already. He's like, I can't seem to keep them long, right? He's talking about Tysha and Sansa, and then he goes back to his 2 options, Marcella and Dorne.
I was going to say, he actually starts by asking her if he should even trust Illyrio. So, like, he's already kind of on guard here. Well, I mean, he obviously has been. But
That's true.
Probably a stupid question to ask Illyrio's employee, too.
Like Illyrio's slaves.
They're spies, right? They have to be.
Well,
especially, what does Illyrio... Oh, it's later on at dinner when Illyrio starts dropping that he's heard stuff,
But it's this lady that he thinks, oh, shit, this lady actually knew what I was saying.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you're right, Jeff. Yeah, it's a drunk mistake.
This is the faker.
Unforced error.
But he also doesn't give a fuck. Like,
He's
yeah.
hammered.
you're like, all right, kill me, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'll eat your mushroom.
So he talks about, he's like, oh yeah, we could go make Marcella fight against Tommen. That'd be good. Start some mischief down there, or we could go up to the wall. But if we went to the wall, you couldn't come. Can't have wives up there. So what do you say, north or south? Atone for the old sins or make some new ones.
Good line.
Yeah, pretty good line.
She just looked at him and leaves.
He's like, yeah, picks up her laundry basket and heads out.
Quickest marriage ever. And then he starts thinking of Tysha.
Yeah, she loved me. She wed me. She put her trust in me.
Fuck Tywin, right?
Damn.
He drops the flagon and sees some poisonous mushrooms.
Just crawled over, picked them.
Kyle, hit the description. I know you like mushrooms. You're a weird woods guy.
You're just talking about eating deer, and I'm the weird woods guy.
Yeah, but you're like a cryptids and woods, and you're like the weird bugs.
Man. So they're pale white
and
with speckles and red-ribbed undersides dark as blood.
Yeah, can't fuck with the red underside. That's the giveaway.
white and red. Weirwood mushrooms. These are weirwood mushrooms. Okay. I don't know, but
Mario mushrooms were the inverse. Red tops, white underbelly. That's when you know you could eat them.
No, Mario is yellow.
That's this is survival advice. Listen to Jeff.
Mario is definitely
Just
red and yellow on top with a white stem. Come on.
Eat them. Yeah, eat them.
I don't think so. No.
What's that called when you just like know a logo wrong? There's a word for that.
Yeah, there is. It's
a good word too. I feel like
it is good.
It's like a something syndrome,
especially because you are wrong as fuck.
No, that's that's not what I'm talking about.
I literally googled Mario mushroom.
No,
this is like what he would eat to get bigger.
I think Jeff's right.
This is making no. That is not what he would eat to get. In what? Yeah. You're not talking old school,
dude. Mario mushroom. Look at my Google. Can you see the Google search?
I see it. The thing is, I'm just knowing how much harder it is going to make the edit, because I'm going to have to somehow look these up and
I'll send it to you.
Toad has a white hat with red spots.
Suck a big wiener. I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about. Look at some gameplay one time. Don't show me a fucking
that's too old
rendition. Show me some fucking gameplay one time.
That's game one.
Suck a wiener. This is oldest school Mario you can get.
It's Mario. Yeah.
Look at this, dickhead.
You don't have any of the. You got to save that one. That's gonna be hard to find. The other two I can find for the podcast. That one I'm gonna have to look up.
Send them all to you.
All right.
Where were we at before this?
Why the fuck? Tyrion's picking mushrooms. I was gonna say, why are we talking about Mario mushrooms? It's not that far of a leap. Okay.
Weird's wood guys. You said something else. I forget what you were trying to say.
Why is he picking poisonous mushrooms, Kyle?
Why is he picking them? I think he's going to use them later. I thought that he would maybe use them on Illyrio or somebody, or just like he was just trying to have some sort of backup. But I do believe later on, after kind of hearing more about it, that he was thinking about using it for himself.
Okay. The other interesting thing is later there's another mushroom thing, and obviously,
oh, it's 100% this, right? They found his
it's not
fucking mushrooms.
this.
I know, but they found his mushrooms.
Well, yeah, I think they probably found his mushrooms, but it is not this. It's a different color. They describe it as a different color and stuff. I guess unless it
they're
changes
cooked.
drastically. Yeah, but these are like Mario mushrooms. Come on, like they're
No, they're not. They're just like white with red under them.
they're like Jeff's Mario mushrooms.
Definitely.
Not my
You
Mario
must have
mushrooms.
never eaten a mushroom. Most of them come white, and then when you cook them, they're
I
like
do not
brown.
like mushrooms. I don't eat like a whole mushroom. Jeff probably has. I feel like I don't know.
I like just normal mushrooms. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're white. They're white, and then you brown
In
them.
like sautéed in something. You've never just like taken a big bite out of
That's
like a
what I'm saying.
mushroom.
They turn brown in the when
I
you cook
would
them.
never in my life pick up anything off the ground. that I
No,
didn't
even
know.
like from a grocery store, you would never like take just a bite out of it like you would like a piece of bread or something.
Most
No,
people don't.
no.
You generally cook a
I don't like
mushroom.
mushrooms that much.
Yeah, it's gross.
All right. Yeah. So he passed out. He gets woken up in bed again by a servant girl who's like, "Yo, Illyrio's wants you for dinner. Let's get you washed up."
He sent me for you.
I'm here to diddle you if you want. I was also here for the king before.
I'll hang around. I was brought here specifically for the king.
Exactly.
Viserys.
Viserys, probably. Yeah. In my notes, he's only a prince, but
And I actually thought it was for the Prince of Pentos. I didn't think
Oh.
Viserys. Maybe because he wasn't.
that's true. Why do they
Okay,
call him
but-
princes? Why not kings and Pentos?
I don't know. It's because they just kill him if something bad.
They get
Happens.
into that later. Yeah.
And he's like, "No, I'm done with Horus. I want Taisha."
Yep.
But then he's like, "Hey, actually, why don't you stay?"
Yeah. Tyrion's kind of fucked. He's going down a dark path here. Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's not even just like, yeah, then again, why don't you stay? It's like, oh, I'm going to make you hate me, and then maybe I'll enjoy that. Maybe that'll make me feel alive.
Well, yeah. When he says no to like, should I wait in your bed? She looked too pleased about that, and then she even kind of like makes fun of him a little bit. She's like, "Oh, should I go get a little boy for you?" And he's like, "You know what? Wait in my bed, like with your legs
I don't know
open."
if that's making fun of him.
Maybe not, but I don't. I think it kind of is. A little boy.
I don't
a
think
boy, not a man. Or
I mean, she's like a little girl.
I guess in this time, I
I
don't
think
know.
in the, like, if you want to talk about the context of all this stuff, I don't think she's making fun of him. I think it's just like, oh, maybe you don't like
it's
women,
definitely
then I will.
that is definitely like people make fun of Renly for being gay. Like
I don't think I'm gonna say just because it's on this side of the narrow sea, it's probably a little bit. It's kind of like nobody would have laughed at Oberyn, right?
You're
Or
right. It's not. I don't think that this would be an insult in Dorne. I agree, but
it's not an insult in Dorne. I think it's only an insult in above Dorne, right? And,
that
and
might
west
be true.
of
I don't know. That's true. It's probably a big culture thing, and I don't know Pentos culture. So
Doesn't
It's a
say
good
anything
point.
about it being a little boy either. For the record, it's I could get a boy or
Boy implies little.
boy does imply little, at least younger.
if my lord would prefer. He's calling her girl.
He said, "No, I don't want to have sex with you." She should have said, "Yes, my lord," and shut the fuck up. Is my point.
The girl took that disappointment too well for his liking. If my lord would prefer a boy, I could have one waiting in his bed.
Yeah, she took that sounds like a joke.
Maybe
she took she took that disappointment
Man.
too well. It doesn't really
All right.
matter, but that pisses him off. Whatever it is, it pisses him off.
And like, yeah, actually, you wait here. I will.
Yeah, she deserves it, right?
No, that's not what I'm saying, but that's what Tyrion ends up doing.
Don't
Yeah.
forget, I did choke out my last whore, so
Yeah.
get ready.
Well, yeah, so he says something else. He says way to bed, and he wants fear. He wants her to be afraid, and she's not. She's just repulsed. So that's when he says, "Do you moan in bed if you want?" And he's like, "What if I choke you?" That's what I did to the last one. Do you? And then he really
then there was
scares
some
her. He's
fear.
like, "Would Illyrio even care? Like, really think about it. There's only one of me.
Oh,
How many
yeah.
of you could like?"
And that's what really struck home.
Because she's thinking like this guy could fucking come back from dinner and fucking kill me, and no one would care.
one would
Is
bat
what
an eye.
is what this girl's thinking
Yeah.
now. And so then he thinks I got the fear that I
And
wanted.
then everyone loses their mind.
Like Tyrion, there's people that say Tyrion their favorite character. There's stuff.
You said he's a what?
Who's your
character?
favorite character?
No,
Oh, favorite character.
Brienne.
Bran sucks. Bran's the worst.
Dunk.
Bran's the new cat.
I'm gonna stop my sentence right there though. There are people that say Tyrion's their favorite character. Moving on.
Tyrion has some major problems.
All right, so we're at dinner with Illyrio, and he's like, "Hey, how'd you like that girl?"
Yeah.
and then they ate a bunch, just food after food, banging food.
Well, Tyrion does say, I didn't want the girl. If I wanted one, I would ask for one. And he's like, if she displeased you. And then he says, no, she did everything she had to do. Which, again, we don't see Tyrion go back to her. But that implies to me, and again, maybe I'm giving him too much credit, that he isn't going to go abuse her when he gets back. But
I don't know about that. I think what he was saying is like she did everything you sent her to do. Like, don't kill her, don't get rid of her.
Yeah.
In that sense, like she did everything you asked. It's me. It's not her. That's the problem. She bathed him. She offered.
But then he threatened to like have Illyrio kill her. Basically, he's like, who would care? And then he goes to Illyrio and he's like, nah, don't do that. I mean, I guess it doesn't mean.
Sounds like a horribly manipulative personality problem there from Tyrion.
I don't know. The way I took it was he was pissed off in the moment.
If he's just striking fear into her for no reason and then leaving.
Well, to me, he was pissed off in the moment, and then later, now we're back to normal, good old, like not going to hurt innocent people, Tyrion. But again, maybe I'm giving him. That's what I said. That's why I kind of prefaced it to begin with. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit. Maybe you're right.
Yeah, let's move on because it
doesn't matter.
Not important.
A lot of food comes out, banging food. Thinks it's some of the best he's ever had. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, he's like, I ain't eating, and then he's like, oh,
maybe I will.
Some
it was just so good.
It does amaze me how much like they can't eat. Like when they get a
well, I think Illyrio can, right? I mean, that's what Tyrion talks about is how big this dude is.
What do they call it? A course. When a course comes out, like they're sampling the course. They're not eating a whole plate of it.
Yeah, they're
not eating the entire herring.
There are so many descriptions of food. Like even if you took one bite of each thing, like a good hefty bite, you got like because it's like some of it's like multiple things. If you got like a good bite of lamb with the plum sauce, and then moved on to the next with the number of things listed, you'd be stuffed just one bite of each.
It's like every
quails.
This is like every dinner that they go to. Anything formally like at a rich spot, they have like a 9-course meal, right? Even Cersei's dinners, and it's like you're at Fogo de Chao every night. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
And then people in the streets are eating.
That's why like being fat was a sign of money and wealth back then, right? Because they did just do this shit.
Yeah.
There's a part during this dinner when they serve swan, and Tyrion thinks, let me see, did I bring the quote? Tyrion thinks, I didn't want the swan because it reminded him of a dinner with Cersei. Meals. When I looked it up, I did go back and looked at it. He had refused the swan because it reminded him of Cersei. That was in Tyrion 12 Clash of Kings. That was right before the Battle of the Blackwater. Everyone's starving, and he meets with Cersei, and she just puts on this like crazy big feast, and I think it's just the two of them. Yeah,
that's kind of my point. Yeah, it's like these people are doing this and wasting all this food, and meanwhile we're hearing about Dunk. You know, well, he didn't eat the head soup, but he's throwing heads in soup, and people are eating that shit.
Exactly.
Right.
So, all right. So Tyrion asked him how his morning meeting went. I don't know if it was in the morning. That's what I wrote down. I don't know when time and place.
Previous meeting, prior meeting.
And he's like, "Yeah, bad news coming out of Slaver's Bay. Asked the poor Marine are fallen."
Yep. And Tyrion's like, "Who cares? They're far away."
But not too far. There's always ripples in the spider web of time.
I think this is a meta joke.
I still don't get what meta even means. You could explain it again.
So let's see if I'm using it right. Kyle can be the judge. I think at the time Dance came out, the Game of Thrones show had been going on for a few seasons.
Okay, and he's making fun of the show as to how close they are or something?
I think he's making fun of the show that they're changing things that he told them would be a bad idea to change because it would have ripple effects down the line. And they didn't listen to him. So he's basically saying, like, you can't change one thing and think it's not going to fuck something else up somewhere else. And I think that's partly what he's saying. I'm not to say that it doesn't have another meaning in book, but...
I think even out of book, I think just in the real world, it's this whole idea that you can kind of, isolate yourself and like, think that you don't have any impact on anything else, right? Like, anything you do is going to impact the rest of the world.
Everything's interconnected, So they talk about Ask Poor Marine. Obviously.
Quickly.
That's Danny, right? He mentions it as Danny.
Yeah, it's definitely Danny.
All right, so let's just do a second on this. So Ask Poor Marine are falling.
Falling.
Is that kind of good news? Isn't that kind of good news?
For who?
It does seem for Illyrio.
Illyrio wants Danny to...
Well, he sent the ships to get her in Karth, and he told her to come back to him. And she was kind of like,
I guess you're right. Okay.
Fuck off, I'm going to Slaver's Bay instead. So
yeah, and didn't she like sell all the shit?
It could be I don't think he cares about that. He's rich as fuck. But
all right, if you were on Danny's side, let's just say Illyrio's on Danny's side, and she's winning
Exactly. If she shows up with an army rather than showing up with the 3 ships that I sent to get her, then I'm all for it.
Yeah.
If
he's got his army now, essentially,
Yeah.
in his mind. Let's say this much: he would. We don't know right now, but at the end of the chapter, he would not be sending Tyrion that way if he didn't think he had some sort of in.
Well, I think the other interesting thing is we haven't seen Illyrio since Dany, but when Illyrio's with Dany,
Book 1,
Viserys was saying things like, "I'm gonna let the whole Khalasar fuck you and their horses as long as I."
Oh yeah, he
become
was real
king."
rude to him.
And Illyrio was backing. Like Illyrio didn't know. I don't think Illyrio knew Viserys was going to get himself killed out there. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's not that hard of a bit, but
it seemed like he was trying to.
But I don't think
hard.
he knew that, right? I think he's actually trying to back Viserys. It seemed like he put a lot of resources into that. So it's not like he's had a ton of correspondence with Dany since then. Besides, he did send Barristan and my boy Strong Belwas. So, but that's pretty much it. So I don't know. It's interesting though. We don't really know too much about their relationship at this point.
I think that is really undercutting a lot of what he's done, though. Like the fact that he's got 2 men as her right-hand man at this point, right? Like he sent her a whole bunch of resources. He's done nothing but support her, essentially. He didn't send people to go kill her, really, as far as she knows.
So the other thing is he gave her the dragon eggs.
Yeah. So I feel like he thinks that he has an in, like I said, as well, with the whole way that this chapter ends. We don't know right now, but the way it ends, where he's like, "You're going to meet this lady with 3-headed dragon," right? And that kind of what he says. So
the dragon has 3 heads.
Yeah, so exactly. So to me, that's him implying I got this cushy gig out, or I have something good brewing for you out that way.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying. I guess early to guess what I was alluding to earlier with Viserys, I'll just say it, or Varys, I'll just say it now. I guess there are some fans that allude to somehow Varys wanted to get Tyrion on Dany's side, right? Because Varys and Illyrio are working together. So that was kind of let's escape Tyrion. That's why I have the problem, because we saw in the Jaime chapter that Jaime had to go in and basically hold a sword to Varys' throat to get him to do the escape thing. So I don't think Varys had this huge master plan to escape Tyrion, kill Tywin on the way, and get Tyrion on Dany's side. But I think there's some...
Maybe he was just testing
I don't know. I think he's doing something. But what you're saying that
I was going to agree with that, Jeff. Maybe he didn't need the sword. Maybe Jaime didn't need the sword to his throat, and he would have already been kind of on board with this, but Jaime didn't know.
Maybe he just wanted to see how bad Jaime wanted it.
Or Jaime didn't know, and Jaime just went straight to that.
That's possible, but... And again, Varys is a sneaky guy, but if you go back to Storm of Swords, Varys really seems to kind of turn on Tyrion at a certain point. It seems like towards the end of Storm of Swords, Varys treats Tyrion kind of like the don't swim too close to a drowning man deal. And that's how Varys kind of has kept on keeping on, is if someone does some stupid shit and gets in over their head.
But now things have changed. His situation has changed. He's useful out east. So Varys has done nothing but try and further his own position, it seems. So
agreed. We don't have to talk about it anymore. I'm just saying I think that's Varys in this whole thing.
Well, stop talking about it.
I just think Varys in this whole thing is a very interesting thing to think about. Is how much is he involved? To what extent? Maybe nothing. Maybe a lot. So yeah.
So they bring out a tray of mushrooms. Tyrion's like,
"Oh fuck,
yo, what the fuck? You trying to kill me right now?"
To be fair, when he picked mushrooms and then passed out, it's they found those mushrooms immediately, right? That was for sure something I even thought.
This was something what this actually made me think of was something that you said in the prologue of Clash of Kings that I had never thought of, and I think is genius. And that was Crescent falls asleep with the strangler out on the table, right? The poison is out on the table next to him. And then someone later comes and he wakes up alone later and the feast has started. And he's late to it. And he's like, why didn't anybody come to get me? And you were like, what if someone did come to get him? Especially Melisandre came to get him.
So he had the stranger out in front of him and he killed himself?
She then drinks the potion and doesn't die. I think Kyle had suggested, what if she came and saw him and then took some antidote beforehand and then just was like,
or even switched it out,
or switch it out with fake poison or something like that. Exactly. Well, he dies, so something has to happen there. But yeah, I think you were the one that suggested that to me, that she he was
asleep with the poison.
Someone just saw it. Yeah, someone came in and saw him with poison and was like, first off, that's why I'm not going to just wake you up. I'm just going to leave slowly. And that's why he's late to the feast. But then also, that's why that could potentially, there's some, whether it's antidote or whatever, whether it's Melisandre or a servant who tells Stannis. Exactly. So, so I think that's potentially exactly the same thing. You're falling asleep with the evidence in your pocket, basically. It's not on a table in front of you, but
Any chance they should have Tyrion passed out next to the mushrooms and thought he already offed himself?
Ooh, that's a good point. Like they see the broken
Maybe they're
stems
like,
and
"Oh,
no
shit.
mushrooms and
Call somebody. He's dying.
That's a
Like
good
get the
point.
Narcan out.
yeah, maybe. Well, and does he wake up in different clothes? Because he wakes up not on the bench. He's on his bed.
I don't know. I don't know if he gets a bath, so I'm assuming. I don't think he woke up naked this time.
If he's in different clothes, they definitely found him. If not, I think they found him no matter what.
Well, I didn't. Well, they found him
they had to
because
found him because Illyrio has the whole conversation, right? Yeah.
No.
He picked them all, snatched the glove down from the line, wrapped them carefully, and stuffed them down his pocket. The effort made him dizzy, so afterward he crawled back onto the bench, curled up, and shut his eyes. When he woke again, he was back in his bedchamber, drowning in the goose-down feather bed once more, while the blonde girl shook his shoulder. My lord, your bath awaits. So, I mean, it doesn't really say he's in different clothes, but
I think he's in the same clothes.
I think he gets dressed in different clothes after the bath. But yeah, that's what I was thinking.
yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, new musty boys clothes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he catches on. He's like, "Yo, shit, Illyrio's trying to kill me right now," and Illyrio's like,
I think he's. To me, it was more of like not even trying to kill him, just like okay, I am not in charge here, right? Like he knows everything I've been doing.
No, we're talking about the mushroom thing now.
I know, and it's
Okay.
still like I am not in charge.
Oh.
He found my mushrooms. He everything I'm doing is fucking up.
"Weren't they wild though? Weren't they just like in the fucking?"
Yeah, but they were like pavers, like they were right in front of him.
This is before also he mentions the wall or Marcella. So I don't think Tyrion's actually thinking this necessarily at this point. That he's on to that he saw me with that he knew I had the mushrooms in my pocket or anything. Because at first Tyrion's about to just pop one in his mouth until Illyrio's like, "Yes, eat them," like while he's stroking his beard in a super evil way. And Tyrion's like, "Whoa, wait, why don't you eat it first, bro?" You know what I mean? And then Illyrio's like, no, the guest must always eat first. And Tyrion's like, I don't think I want this mushroom. And he puts it back. And he's like, it's a great breach of hospitality to poison your guest.
Yeah, I still think it was kind of like, oh shit, they found my mushrooms, right?
I don't think so.
Yes,
Weren't they just
maybe a little bit, yes.
Tyrion saying this. Jeff.
Yes, maybe a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Tyrion realizing that they found the mushrooms by the fact that they want to poison him with mushrooms. Yes, I think.
Well, and it was kind of just like a play of like, okay, if you want to do it, here they are.
Or it was like, why did you pick these mushrooms? What were you planning on doing with these mushrooms, motherfucker?
Yeah, and if it's like if you're gonna plan to do it to yourself, here they are, cooked as nice as can be, right?
Yeah.
Like buttered up, garlicked up,
Yeah,
delicious.
Probably banging. They probably were good.
Magister Ordello was poisoned by a mushroom not a half a year ago. The pain is not so much, I am told. Some cramping in the gut, a sudden ache behind the eyes, and it is done. Better a mushroom than a sword through your neck, is it not so? Why die with the taste of blood in your mouth when it could be butter and garlic?
The dwarf studied the dish before him. The smell of garlic and butter had his mouth watering. Some part of him wanted those mushrooms, even knowing what they were. He was not brave enough to take cold steel to his own belly, but a bite of mushroom would not be so hard. That frightened him more than he could say.
You mistake me.
He heard himself say.
Is it so? I wonder. If you would sooner drown in wine, say the word and it shall be done. Quickly. Drown in cup by cup, waste time and wine both.
You mistake me.
Tyrion said again, more loudly. The buttered mushrooms glistened in the lamplight, dark and inviting.
I have no wish to die. I promise you. I have...
His voice trailed off into uncertainty. What do I have? A life to live? Work to do? Children to raise? Lands to rule? A woman to love?
You have nothing.
Finished Magister Illyrio.
But we can change that.
Plucked the mushroom from the butter and chewed it lustily.
Delicious.
So the one thing I want to point out here is I think it's really interesting that when he first basically says, when Illyrio says like, oh, don't you want to just, like, wouldn't it be easier to kill yourself? Tyrion thinks like, he thinks the steel in the gut, I couldn't do that, but a mushroom, man, that's not too bad. And then when it said, and then when he says, you mistake me, it says, you mistake me, he heard himself say. Like, it wasn't like, it's kind of like a subconscious thought. Like, his subconscious was like, no, keep us alive. Like, but his like forethought is like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't know.
Interesting.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And then the second time he had thought about it a second, he's like, no, you mistake me. He said more loudly.
He said that. What did he actually say that one?
It says he said more
said
loudly.
again, more
yeah.
loudly.
So I think
More
after
loudly.
a second, but it's more like
This was
definitive.
snap back. Yeah.
I don't know. I like that. And then
It was cool. I mean, I think it's a cool realization for Tyrion. Like, do you want to die? Do you have something to live for? Like, figure the fuck out. Where are you at in this crossroads of your life? What are you trying to get? What are you trying to accomplish now? Like, you've had a hell of a ride the last year and a half. What's next?
Yeah. And this is the quote that I like, and I just wish we had like another paragraph or two of him thinking about whether it's the suicide or like, what do I have to live for? What is next for me? What matters? Like before Illyrio kind of gives him an answer, it's like, oh, here's a goal you could work for. Like, I don't know. I wish we had just a little bit of more of him pondering about that. I think that's the big downside of this chapter. It kind of like to Kyle's point, it feels like a recap chapter. You said that at the beginning, right? And I think it's just too surface level in doing any of the new stuff. So not horrible. Again, I like all of the chapters, but not one of the top ones for me for sure. But yeah, moving on. You got nothing. Illyrio eats the mushroom and kind of laughs at him. Haha, not poison.
Yeah. So they ate some more, and then they start talking of kinslaying. And Illyrio's like, hey, it's not all cursed. Like, some people might be happy that you killed Tywin.
Some people may say it's just a good start.
And he took offense to that. He's like, yo, I'm still a lion over here.
Yeah.
Forget that.
And Jaime and Cersei are mine to kill. Interesting.
I did like when he's like, you fucking idiots. Like, your goddamn, your logo that you have on your dumb shirt does not make you who you are. Fucking
your
moron.
little piece of cloth doesn't make you tougher.
That was great. Yeah, I was like,
the Prince has a lion in his
He's like, you want to go in a cage with some
spend the night with a
lions?
lion? Like, you lion? And Tyrion's like, yeah, you're right. I'm not a lion.
Yeah.
But still, they're my family. They're mine to kill. Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he's eating snails, right? We just read about snails. Snail emblems.
True. They do. I had all the food bullet pointed, but I spared Jeff.
I was just making a dunk joke. Mr.
If
Nature.
you read all the food,
dunk reference.
I would have logged off.
The one thing when he says Cersei's mine to kill, he's like, oh, interesting you mentioned her. One of the things that I heard today was she has offered a lordship for your head. And he's like, well, if you mean to claim it, make her spread her legs. Best part of me for the best part of her.
Illyrio would take the gold.
Apparently not. Tyrion's head's still on his shoulders, right?
I wrote it down in my notes, so he either thought about that or...
It's one thing that I think I said with Dany at the beginning. Like, there had to be a huge payout if you just gave Viserys to Robert.
Yeah,
right? At that time?
Like, he's like the Mark Cuban of this world.
Well,
does he really need more?
It's not even that. I think it's there's more to come from backing a future king at this point. That's his play here.
I guess what motivates Illyrio is uncertain, right? He's rich. He's already rich. He's got a manse.
He's across the sea from all this bullshit.
He's not even in the country that he's like fighting for. Like, what is the motivation to get over there with rich and power?
Like, hang on. Listen, actually, like Dany. Next chapter is a Dany chapter. Say in that chapter somehow she conquers King's Landing. It's weird. It starts with her flying on her dragon. She burns all of King's Landing and takes over. Is she like rewarding Illyrio like greatly more really than Cersei would reward Illyrio if he started sending letters being like, yo, I know where Tyrion's at, and like trying to really milk that for all it's worth? Or I think even more so if Illyrio just gave Dany and Viserys over to Robert. I think that would have been the most lucrative for Illyrio out of everything. So I don't know. I think it's a crazy gamble. So, and again, I think and maybe the fact is what Jeff was saying, like he's got so much he can afford to take crazy gambles, but
the other side of this is I don't think you understand maybe all the stuff that's happening in the background. Me either, obviously, but like what does Varys have on him? What is all this other stuff? Like there has to be like there's probably more at play here than what we know. It's probably more. I guess
my point there
money.
with Dany that I didn't make clear was I think that for Dany there's a lot of other people higher in line than Illyrio of who I want to thank if she takes over, right? Like I don't know. I guess he is pretty high up there. He's probably top 20, but
he's definitely top.
Is that better than you would be in favor with Robert if you gave Robert the last two Targaryens? I don't think so. Or Cersei, Tyrion? I don't think so.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Is like what does Varys have on him that he can say, look, you owe me, my friend, across the sea?
That's fair. Maybe Varys has something on him. The implication, I've always kind of just assumed it too, is that they were honestly friends. But
well, and then the other part of this then is, well, I guess, but they're also in some like weird secret society because didn't we see them in the basement of King's Landing at one point?
Yeah, with Arya.
Yeah, so like I mean,
basically they were just talking on how they were working. At that time, they were just talking about how they were working together to advance Dany and Viserys with the whole.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm saying. It's like they're also maybe they're black dragons or whatever, right? Like and they're in some weird society that wants to bring the Targaryens back to power at any means possible. You know what I'm saying? Like we might not
the
know.
black dragons like we heard about in Dunk and Egg.
I'm just making shit up, I guess. But red dragons, I don't know what color the sigils are.
Yeah.
I don't.
No, I get what you're saying. I'm just I don't hate the idea. Just we really haven't heard about that at all in the main series.
The Stonecutters, the Illuminati, the whatever you want to call them, right? Like maybe there's some group that they're a part of,
Like the
that
Faceless
like
Men or
is
something,
bigger
but
than all this. Yeah,
not the Faceless Men, but another group like that. Like the Faceless
Dragon
Men are like
Knights.
the Assassins Guild. They're in there like the Thieves
Yeah.
Guild or something like that, or the Secrets
Yeah,
Guild or something. Yeah, gotcha. I see what you're saying. Cool.
like yeah, we don't necessarily know everything. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
All right. Well, he goes. You can have the gold if you want, but I want the rock.
Tyrion says that.
What Illyria says is I would rather have my weight in gold than Cersei. And he's like, okay, you get all the gold in Castle Rock.
You can have all the gold. I just want the rock. I want the place.
Well, hang on. I think this is kind of important. What is Illyria saying here? I mean, I think they're kind of bargaining here, right? They're talking about, okay, why am I going to keep you alive? He just said Cersei's offering in your weight in gold. And he's like, Cersei said, I'm offering a lordship. And he's like, I'd rather have my weight in gold, all the gold in Castle Rock. I think this is basically Illyria saying, you're the heir to Castle Rock. I'll help you get there, but I want all the gold there once we get you there. Right?
Yeah, maybe.
It's him basically saying that. And Tyrion's like, deal, but I get to keep the castle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, it reads, to me, it reads too much like a normal conversation, but I think these guys they're haggling here.
Okay.
And Tyrion's just
maybe.
like, yeah, take it all. I just want the castle.
I mean, I could take it at face value that they're haggling each other.
Yeah, I also don't know that this is honestly too
I
serious.
bet Tyrion could have been like, "No, you can have half." Like he 3/4. Like I don't know. What are you trying to? I don't know what you're trying to get at.
You're right. I guess it's not written in. There's no contracts being signed here, Kyle. So like, if at the end, he just gives Illyria a bunch of money or something. If they do end up getting Castle Rock and he just gives Illyria a bunch of money and it's not all the gold in Castle Rock, like, is it game over? No, probably not. So okay, that's a fair point. So then they talk about how you're going to get there. How are you going to get to Castle Rock?
North or south?
And he's like, do you think Stannis is going to give it to you?
He might, because I'm the heir.
King Stannis, he calls him King Stannis here. By the way.
By law, I'm the heir, but by law, I also killed my dad, so he might chop my head off.
Yeah, Davos treatment. You give me the castle, then you cut my head off for kinslaying.
Yeah.
And he's like, why do you think I would join Stannis? And he's like, well, why else would you go to the wall? And Tyrion's like, someone was talking.
Why is he at the wall?
Oh, fuck. How'd you find that?
No, he's like, why is Stannis at the wall? What business does he have there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he comes to the realization that, like, he had...
Yeah. Well, no, because then he says, what about in Dorne? Maybe you'd like to go to Dorne, huh?
Yeah.
It's warmer there. And that's when he's like, okay, these are the two places that I just told that other lady outside. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, well, whatever. I might crown Marcella.
Yeah.
Make her queen.
And Illyria says, well, if you're going to do that, you might as well kill her. Why would you wish such on the poor girl?
It's a good point, too.
I mean, yeah, we saw how that worked out for Harry Head.
She already lost an ear.
Yeah, she's shortened ear already. Yeah, so. And he's like, well, feudal justice all I have left, and at least that one would make Cersei pissed off. It would put her children against each other and she'd weep.
But that's not the road back to the Castle Rock.
Yep.
Do you know about the Prince of Pentos?
Yep.
In Pontos we have a prince, my friend. He presides at ball and feast, and rides about the city in a palanquin of ivory and gold. 3 heralds go before him with golden scales of trade, the iron sword of war, and the silver scourge of justice. On the first day of each new year he must deflower the maid of the fields and the maid of the seas.
Illyria leaned forward, elbows on the table.
Yet should a crop fail, or a war be lost, we cut his throat to appease the gods and choose a new prince from amongst the 40 families.
Remind me never to become Prince of Pentos.
Are your 7 kingdoms so different? There is no peace in Westeros, no justice, no faith, and soon enough, no food. When men are starving and sick of fear, they look for a savior.
They may look, but if all they find is Stannis...
Not Stannis, nor Marcella.
The yellow smile widened.
Another, stronger than Tommen, gentler than Stannis, with a better claim than the girl Marcella. A savior come from across the sea to bind up the wounds of bleeding Westeros.
Fine words.
Tyrion was unimpressed.
Words are wind. Who is this bloody savior?
A dragon.
The cheesemonger saw the look on his face at that and laughed.
A dragon with 3 heads.
Bum.
Da-da-da.
End scene.
Cool. Yeah. So did you think this would be where Tyrion was heading?
Honestly not.
Once he was in Pentos, I'd say yes. I thought, like, okay, this kind of makes sense because he's with Illyrio. This is who he knows. But before this chapter, I would agree with Jeff. No, obviously not.
Okay, that's cool because I feel like that's something that because you've seen season 8, I feel like that's something that could.
I didn't see enough season 8 to know that. I guess for what that's worth, I didn't know he was with her in season 8. So
Gotcha.
Wow, spoiler.
No,
Not a
I guess
spoiler.
that's kind of what I'm saying. Is I'm glad that Kyle like at least didn't understand enough of what was going on if he was whatever he was seeing.
I
or
saw
whatever.
like a few episodes of
Yeah,
season 8,
yeah.
and that was a long time ago at this point now, which is even better, right? It's probably 10 years ago. When did season 8 come
Probably
out?
7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah.
That's actually crazy too.
Yeah.
The timeline of our actual lives is freaking me out right now.
Don't think about it too hard. It hits me every once in a while too, especially when I look at some of the old podcast stuff. It's like, damn, like the first one was like 10 years ago at this point, but
Yeah.
8 years ago. But
So,
any last thoughts for Tyrion? Kyle,
where do horse go?
Jeff,
No.
Kyle. Question: where is the next Tyrion chapter going to take place?
I'd have to look at the map.
I guess like what's the path to? I guess that's true.
To
You have
Dany?
you have to look at the map. Yeah, like if we're trying to go to Dany, how are we getting there?
I wondered if he goes through. He's not allowed at the Dothraki city though. I don't know where. Again, I don't have the map,
it's
so
tough.
people don't yell at me if it's way off track.
I should have been ready for this question.
It's not your fault. There's a line from Pentos to Norvos in the book here.
Those might just be roads.
It's not in the key though.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's like a solid line and then it dashes. Yeah.
And the lines
Yeah.
change.
Pretty sure there are roads. Those are roads, and they'll explain them in the.
What the hell is Cahor?
And then if you go to Valeria, the next page, Jeff, there's even more of them.
There are lines in the Valyria deal too. Just big ass road.
Yeah,
It's the highway.
we learn about some road stuff. Really thrilling in the future chapter. So I'm gonna keep it to myself for now.
Well, then Norvos and Cahor. That's where I'm guessing he goes next, Nelson.
Okay,
Cheater. Looking at the map.
he takes the roads.
I think the next chapter is still with Illyrio.
Okay,
I don't know that he's leaving yet.
Kyle, if you do look at like the north, you can see that the King's Road looks like that road.
Okay, that's fair. Inferring from prior ones, I did not look at the previous ones to look at that one.
dumbass Kyle.
Yeah, there's no key on the map, so that's George's fault.
Okay, we'll put it on George.
A good map has a legend and a key. Compass rose.
All right. Well, next question for Kyle is: we saw the next chapter is Dany. What's going on with Dany?
Nothing.
Wasn't she queening in that city? I think it's probably going to be a picking up on that.
Yeah, she's queened in that city.
Was this the through the toilet?
Yep, through the sewers. Yeah.
Is this Astapor?
But then she took. Well, the last Dany chapter was her in
think
Marine. Her in
Marine,
Marine, and basically a bunch of shit happened. She learned that Astapor, that she had taken over before,
Was in trouble.
was back to being shitty.
Yeah,
Essentially,
basically
it's
the
like
slaves took over and now had just enslaved the masters, so they just flipped the roles.
flipped.
And in Marine, she had crucified all these masters, right? Because there was all the crucified slaves on the way to Marine, so she had crucified
The
masters.
children. Yeah.
And like their bodies were starting to like slop on the floor, and like they had to get cleaned up with buckets and a shovel. And she was starting to feel a little bit bad about that. And she was like, I'm not too good at this like ruling thing. I'm gonna stay here and practice that a little bit before we do anything
So I think she's
else."
probably going to try and be nicer, and like she's going to be good Cersei, maybe.
Dany's gonna be good Cersei. Okay. She's gonna be the queen that we always wanted.
I hope.
Okay. We'll see. See Kyle in the next one for Dany 1. We'll see the rest of you guys in the spoiler section.
Not the queen we needed, but the queen we always wanted.
Jesus, so many fucking Batman quotes tonight.
Bye.
Later, nerds.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Bye, Kyle. Thanks for hanging out with us. See you on the next one for Dany 1. Nels, what's your hot takes for this chapter?
I don't remember. I got a few quotes written down. Let's see.
You said you had a lot.
I got it. Yeah, I do. I got a few quotes written down here.
We're in trouble. We're in trouble.
Those bare branches and chill in the air argued against Lice, Mir, or Volantis as well. This is when he's trying to figure out where he is.
Where he's at. Okay.
Lemons don't grow, Pentos. Lemons only grow down south, where it's so warm, where the branches aren't bare. Guess what's also on the same Dorne?
This is Lemon Gate.
Exactly. Dany wasn't in Bravos. There's no trees in Bravos, and the trees are bare here. It's too cold nowadays.
There's no. Yeah, I think we can agree that there's no lemons in Bravos.
I thought that was a little wink at maybe Lemongate, but I don't know. Next one, when Tyrion's trying to pick wine, he goes down to the cellar. He goes through all the wines that are there. Sweet reds from the Reach. Think about
Arbor Gold. The Arbor Gold.
Keep your eye out. So he says sweet reds from the Reach and sour reds from Dorne, pale Ponteshi ambers, the green nectar of Myr, 70 casks of Arbor Gold, even wines from the fabled East, from Karth, from ET, and a shy by the Shadow. So he's naming all these wines. He says 70, which scores 20.
Lot of Arbor Gold.
So 60 casks of Arbor Gold. And what Littlefinger says, why people keep their eye out for Arbor Gold, is Littlefinger tells Sansa, we will give them lies and Arbor Gold, and they will ask for more. Because basically he's telling, I think this is what he's setting up Nestor, basically saying like, hey, Nestor, I'm going to make it so your family gets the castle, the Gate of the Moon, for perpetuity. And I'm going to sign it, not Robert.
Yeah.
Basically, hey, you need to back me. But while they're doing this meeting, we're going to give them lies and Arbor Gold, and we're going to ask for more. So people think Arbor Gold equals lies. I think there are a lot of lies.
And Illyrio has
secrets.
60 of them.
Exactly. A lot of stuff going on with Illyrio, for sure.
Do you think that's true, though? Like, do you think Illyrio's full of lies?
Well, I think the big one, and before let's get to it now. The 3 heads of the dragon at the end. Yeah. Kyle was obviously big on Dany, which I think you're supposed to be as a first read. But he did mention Black Dragon in there. He dropped it at one point.
Are you going Dany, Aegon, Fagon?
Yeah, people call him Fagon. Most people think he's fake at this point, I think. Anyone who's like thought about it at all in the fandom is, I would think it'd be better if he was not, just because, but at this point I think I just think that because I think anything that's counter to the popular would be more surprising.
Would it be cooler if he was a Blackfire?
That's the idea, that Illyrio was married to a Blackfire lady, because we learned that the Blackfire male line died out, specifically the male line. So the thought is maybe there was a daughter that Illyrio married, and that's Aegon is his son. But
he's trying to sell that Aegon was actually Dany's...
Actually Rhaegar's child. Who wasn't killed by Gregor. Varys did a baby swap.
Oh, yeah. Rhaegar's child. Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking.
Yep. So he's the real Rhaegar's child. And that's why Jon Con's on board, because Jon Con believes that. Jon Con loved Rhaegar. Yeah. He thinks he's protecting Rhaegar's child. But a lot of the fans think he's actually protecting Illyrio's child, who's secretly a Blackfire. Even if it's not Illyrio's child, he's somehow secretly a Blackfire. Maybe Varys is a Blackfire.
Yeah.
Something like that. And that's why he shaves his hair. That's basically the thought here. I think the big hole in this, we don't have to get into it now, is if their end game is to back Aegon because he's a Blackfire, what the fuck are they doing with Dany and Viserys early on? That's my big question.
Better to have Targaryens than Blackfires, would be my guess.
Yeah, but if Illyrio or Varys is a Blackfire, which is what I think the popular theory is at this point, what the fuck are they doing with Viserys and Dany at all? They just kill them.
I don't know, recreate a line. I don't know.
Maybe they plan to marry Dany to, like, I feel like marry Dany to Aegon.
Marry Dany to Fagon and Viserys to somebody.
Just kill Viserys. Marry Dany to Fagon.
Yeah, I guess you could always just kill Viserys.
Unite the Blackfire and Targaryen line, and
then we're back. There's no more bad line.
If I'm Illyrio, that's what I'm thinking, but I don't know. Maybe we'll learn something else.
That's if he's a Blackfire, or if he got with Blackfire.
To me, this is where some of the cracks start to show, because I feel like, and I know I love George, but I feel like this is where George liked the idea of Fagon, put him in, and didn't really think about how that affected. Like, oh, you know what? Varys and Illyrio can be working towards this the whole time.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really think like how that affected what they were doing in book 1. But I don't know. Maybe I'm not giving him enough credit.
Well, you brought up the ripple thing. Maybe he's just actually rippling his own story too.
I don't even know what that means, but
yeah, well, all right. Let's just throw this guy out there, and then he gets burned by the dragon too, right? Him and Quentin can both burn.
Yeah, but who's the Blackfire's number one enemy?
The Targaryens.
Yeah. So what? He does the whole Khal Drogo thing just to kill Viserys? Like, just kill him. You have him in your house. Just kill him while he's sleeping.
No, I don't know. That would be weird, just to kill Viserys. I don't know.
You're going to give away dragon eggs, hold a marriage, do the whole Dothraki thing just to, unless it's a 2-for-1 because we know that they paid the Dothraki to keep them away. Maybe the Targaryens end up on his lap. He's like, you know what? This can be my payment this time.
All right. Well, maybe they
save me some gold.
Needed the Dothraki to actually fight their battle for him.
Nothing happens with the Dothraki. The Dothraki all abandoned Dany. She might end up getting some back, but like where we're at now, that plan, if that's what the whole plan was about, they fucked up. So again, we don't have to talk about it now. That's my big. And if any fans have a thought on that, I've definitely seen videos where people have some suggestions, but nothing's ever convinced me got me sold on what the hell Varys and Illyrio up to tying book 1 to book 5. But yeah, we don't have to hang on to it. the thing where Tyrion, Illyrio is talking to Tyrion about the lions, and he says, I could put you in a cage with a lion. Do you want to spend the night with one? Do you really think you're a lion? Later in the books, Tyrion is going to get fed to lions when he's a slave
in the
fighting pits.
dragon pits.
And Dany hears about it, and she's like, no, like, I don't want to see. Basically, she agreed to the fighting pits, but she wants like basically fair contests. So when she hears there's about to be just like an entertainment show where we feed dwarves to lions, basically, she's like, no, we're not doing that. And I think she calls it off. I think if I'm remembering correctly, that's how that goes.
But he was getting all ready to go.
Yeah, he was about to go, and Dany saved him by the skin of his teeth. Yep, pretty much.
I want to say one thing, but by the way, you telling Kyle, you bringing up season 8 to Kyle was a minus.
What, refreshing that in his head?
Yeah, because I think that planted that he's going to get there. Like it's going to be like easy peasy. Shows up and he's working with Dany.
That's true. I did see an interview with George. Like I think it came out for the first time this week, where he said someone asked him if it's going to be the same as the show, and when they mentioned the show, he was like,
he's on a battlefield, right? Isn't he like running?
Where we leave him?
Yeah,
outside Marine. But Dany's not even there. She's off with Drogon.
Right,
and
she's in.
Yeah. So that's kind of my next few points, is we're getting into the future of Tyrion.
Does he go on the Cinnamon Wind too?
He goes on.
You had talked about how he was getting there.
I think he goes on a boat called the Shy Maid down the river.
Okay, and they run into the Cinnamon Wind. Doesn't
Cinnamon Wind was the boat that Sam was on, and Dany had talked to the captain in Karth. I think those are the only two Cinnamon Winds that we have so far.
Okay.
So Tyrion takes a river boat called the Shy Maid down the river with
Jon Con and
Griff,
Fagon, and the
Griff,
and the girl,
Septa Lenore, Holden Halfmaester, and Duck,
who's actually a Shara Dane.
Lenore, people think it potentially could be a Shara Dane. I've seen convincing arguments against that, though, and we'll get to some of that. But yeah, Holden Halfmaester and Duck are the other two, and also there's two more, Yandri and Ysilla, who are they're the owners of the boat. They're kind of
they get pirated though, don't they?
They go through some shit on the way. There's stone men. There's some weird time.
Yeah.
They like time travel kind of a little bit. Yeah, and then they get down the river. My question for you for Tyrion's future is these mushrooms.
Yeah.
He somehow is able to keep them, and he uses them.
I don't remember who he kills with them.
So his master, when he becomes a slave, his master basically loved all the grotesques. So I think there's like a half man, half goat. There's a bunch of weird.
Barnum and Bailey. This is Barnum.
Yeah, exactly. So he gets the noseless dwarf, is why he likes Tyrion. And this guy, he gets the pale mare. So he gets the sickness that's going around, and he's gonna die. So there's like the second in command, who I think is also a slave. I think their name is Nurse. They're another one of the grotesque, but they're like the second in command to this guy running everything.
Okay. Top grotesque.
Once the master is like on his deathbed, like he's dead in the next day or two, Tyrion poisons Nurse, the second in command, with these poison mushrooms. And him, Penny, and Jorah, I think. He's like, yo, time to go.
Skedaddle.
And they get out. And then they go and sign a contract. But they go to Brown Ben Plum.
Brown Ben Plum.
Exactly. And he's like, hey, you're escaped slaves.
Do you know the Plums?
The Plums. Maynard Plum, our boy.
Do you know? I know Maynard.
So he goes to Brown Ben, and Brown Ben's like, you're escaped slaves. Like, it's very dangerous to deal with you. Like, I could be killed for taking on an escaped slave. And Tyrion's like, I think this is what I was thinking too. I think Tyrion promises him like all the gold in Castle Rock or something, which
he's promised a lot of people all the gold in Castle Rock at this point.
Again, now that I'm thinking about it, that might not be exactly what he promises Brown Ben, but he definitely doesn't have he's writing checks he can't cash if he's promising Illyrio all the gold in Castle Rock and then Brown Ben a bunch of stuff. Because it's not just Brown Ben, it's like Brown Ben and all the captains of the Second Sons.
One thing I thought about too, you remember in the show where Tywin's like, all the gold at Castle Rock, like those mines went dry years ago. Like we ain't got shit.
That's true, but that's not in the book.
It's show. I know it was show only, right?
Yeah,
so.
That's show only. Yeah, that's a good point.
It would be nice if, let's just say, we're never gonna get there because this is like 7 books away. But Tyrion actually getting back to Castle Rock, opening up the gold mines and like opening up the vault, and it's just empty. Like
having the Dany and
it's
Karth
kind of like
the TV show moment. Yeah. So Tyrion sees the statue in the pond. I actually don't have the quote in front of me. I probably should.
Naked boy.
It's Illyrio. I think we learn in the next chapter it's Illyrio.
The statue of
the statue is of Illyrio when he was a boy.
Okay. All right, now that I know that, tell me about it.
That's all I really have. I think it potentially relates to, he talks about his love in the next chapter. The next chapter is Tyrion with Illyrio again. I think they're on their way to meet Holden and Duck to do the exchange. But I think Illyrio tells Tyrion about his love, Sarah. I think he says like he keeps her hand in a drawer still.
Yeah.
And this is the people who think it's Sarah Blackfire.
Okay.
So people think this is where, and then Aegon is their son. That's where so this is the next point I have is the children's clothes.
They were
Probably
Aegon's,
exactly. Yeah, and that's all I had. And then obviously you were gonna go meet Aegon. It'll be interesting for Kyle though, because even once we get on the ship,
it's not Aegon and shit like that.
It's Griff and young Griff. Tyrion finds out, I think, about Griff immediately. I think like literally the first chapter he meets Griff, but it's a thing where the things he's saying are subtle. Where he's saying shit about griffins to Griff. He's like, "Ooh, a griffin might fly by," or "Ooh, I wonder if a lion with wings would show up," or something like that.
I wonder if we'll go roost with a griffin.
Exactly, but like Kyle's not gonna know what that means.
Yeah.
Like we'll be able to, and then the same thing. I think like in a couple chapters he plays Syvass with young Griff and has some suspicions. But again, I think the way he lets onto them early are pretty subtle, and I don't know if Kyle will pick him up. So he might think that he's still just on a boat ride as step one to get to Dany, is we got to get to Valyria, because that is their goal. Originally, Aegon wants to meet up with Dany, and then Tyrion kind of convinces him that's not the way to go. It's like, if you go to Dany, you're the beggar. If you go to Westeros first, she'll be on your heels and come to you and be like, "Oh, let me join you. We're related," type thing.
Yeah.
So,
which is what he does. He does do that, right?
He ends up not waiting. Yep, exactly. So cool. Well, part of that is also John Conn Griff's decision, because Dany's just diddle-daddling. They thought she would be moving. They thought she'd be on her way, and she's not. So that's part of their decision too. It's not all Aegon and Tyrion. It's convincing, but exactly.
Sounds good.
We'll see the next one. And Kyle's kind of right. Dany is in Slaver's Bay trying to be nice. So
nice, Dany.
We'll see you guys in that one. For Dany 1. Bye-bye.